Army captain returns home. Then he finds his daughter sleeping on the floor. Captain David Morris was eager to return home. He had been away for 8 long months and terribly missed his family. Fortunately, he received an early discharge from his current tour, allowing him to come home 2 months ahead of schedule. Hager to surprise. Before the video starts, please subscribe to join our community. Your support helps us grow, and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. His wife Susan and her daughter Angela, he had kept his return a secret with a buoyant step and a broad smile. He approached his front door oblivious to the discoveries that awaited him upon opening the door. David called out, "Susan, Angela, where are you?" "Tyler, Brian, I'm home." However, there was no response. His wife and stepsons were nowhere to be found. The house stood silent on a Saturday morning when everyone should have been at home. "Angela," he called again, hoping for an answer. "Daddy," cried a faint voice. "I'm here in the kitchen." David ran to the kitchen door and was surprised to see that it was locked. He turned the key and opened the door. Angela was standing there with tears in her eyes. "Daddy," she sobbed. "I've missed you so much." David hugged his daughter tightly, then over her shoulder he saw a mattress. "Angela," he gasped, "why are you sleeping here? Where are Susan and the boys?" Angela looked frightened. "Please, Daddy," she said, "please. It's all right, tell me." David said in a stern voice, "Were you locked up and sleeping in the kitchen?" Angela started sobbing. "I can't tell you," she cried. "Don't you see, Daddy? You'll go away again, and I'll be all alone with them." David put his arms around his daughter. "I promise you, Angela, you have nothing to be afraid of ever again. Now tell me what's going on." 6 months ago, Susan said Tyler and Brian were too big to be sharing a bedroom. She explained, so she moved me out of my bedroom, and Brian moved in. "I sleep in the kitchen on this mattress." David was furious when he married Susan. He treated her 2 sons from a previous relationship as his own. He believed she had done the same for his orphan daughter. "Where are they now, David?" he asked, "and why were you locked in?" "Susan took the boys to Florida for the weekend to celebrate Brian's birthday," Angela said, "so she left me some sandwiches and locked me in here because she thinks I'd steal her things." Just then, someone knocked on the kitchen door. David looked through the window and saw a slim, sweet-faced woman with a covered plate in her hand. "Angela, it's Nicole," she said. "Who's Nicole?" David asked. "She's a new neighbor." Angela said, "She's really sweet and kind. I think she suspects something because she always brings me treats." David fished out his keys and unlocked the kitchen door. "Hello," he said to Nicole. "I'm Angela's father." Nicole looked embarrassed. "Hi," she said. "I hope you won't take it the wrong way, but I brought Angela some hot food." "Of course not," David said. "Thank you for your kindness to my daughter. I just realized what you've probably known for some time, but I'm putting things right. I knew Angela was left alone." Nicole said she'd always say she couldn't open the door to anyone, but I knew something was very wrong. I was going to call social services, but I was afraid I'd just make things worse. David assured Nicole that everything would be put to rights and thanked her again for her kindness to Angela. Then he started thinking about how he was going to solve the problem with Susan and her sons on Sunday afternoon. Susan and the boys arrived home to find 3 mattresses on the lawn, and on top of them were piled all of their belongings. Susan was furious. "Angela," she screamed, "I'll get you for this." But when the door opened, it wasn't Angela standing there. It was her husband, David, and he didn't look the least bit friendly. "Hello, Susan," he said calmly. "David," Susan gushed, "baby, what a wonderful surprise." "I think I was the one who had the biggest surprise." Susan, David said, "But just so, you know, Angela's back in her bedroom. You and the boys can move those mattresses into the garage, which is where you'll be living from now on." Susan saw the flinty look in David's eyes and knew the game was up. "I'll take you for every penny you have." "David," she screeched. "No, you won't," David said calmly. "I called the police, and they saw how Angela was living and the conditions I found her in. You try anything, and you'll go to jail for child abuse." Susan and her sons hastily gathered their belongings and left. The final communication David received from her was a few months later when she signed the divorce papers. Subsequently, David began dating Nicole, and Angela is aware that she will soon have a new and loving mother in her life. What are your thoughts on this story? I'd love to hear your opinions, so please share them in the comments section below.